Watson's the kind of guy, since he's ahead of the curve, that would have known about the West Coast offense before that got in and before the Wildcat.
I'm sure that I've watched Watson do some things. I don't know that he got fully evolved to where you could put a brand name on it like Wildcat and West Coast. His was a little more subtle than that, but he always. I never visited him where I didn't take something back and benefit from it. It wasn't a category that you'd brand like that, but small things that he does that are ahead of the curve that make you do something different than what you were normally doing.
What has he brought to Tennessee Tech now?
Stability. I mean, he's got. You can see the progress. I mean, they're a lot better football team this year than they were last year. I guess I could see it between year one and year two, but I'm telling you, year two to year three, well, look at the record. But they have a chance to win the league. This thing's still pretty much out there. They 2 wins can get you a share. They're 4-2.
Do you see, just when you look at what they've done this year, would you say that they're a team on the verge? And I say that because they've beaten the teams that have weaker records that are behind them.
Right.
And the only 2 teams they lost to were the 2 that are the recognized strong teams in the league. And they're just in that.
I think just like he did at UAB, he got them up to a competitive place, and they're there. They're right at the. But you got things that Eastern Kentucky and Eastern Illinois has been going on for a long time, and some of the next steps takes some things that are, I don't know. We've tried to take those steps in one way, and I don't know his situation. But in 3 years to come to where he's at, exactly what he did at UAB shouldn't surprise anybody. They went from not playing football to, being, I guess, they're a very sound, good football team. They will not beat themselves. If you don't go out there with everything you've got from the beginning to the end, you will get beat.
And I don't know what Sales' deal is. If he played at Georgia, if he came back and played.
My understanding was he played at Georgia.
With them,
I've watched the Georgia tape, but I really didn't look at it that way.
The dynamics that him, Sweeney, and I don't know how much you remember of Benford from last year, but Sweeney and Sale, you've seen now for like 3 years.
Well, Benford I remember very well. Benford, you can make an argument he's the best wide receiver in the league. I mean, I think he's leading the league in yardage per game. To me, that's productivity. So when you say you're the most productive player in the league, you could say that defines the best receiver in the league. He was clearly. We knew about him. I think he played with the Chambers in high school, and we, there was some question about some things that, and we, I don't know where, we knew about him, and we thought he was a great player. Somewhere along the line, we ended up in a different scenario with him. He's a great player. I mean, that will be some. I can tell you that Lee Sweeney will be looking for any chance. I mean, he won't have to be open to get the ball thrown to him. He's that kind of receiver.
And the dynamic that Sales has,
he's a broken field guy. He's a bubble screen, draw, kickoff, punt returner.
Like the Holt kid.
He's like Holt, except that Holt is thicker and has probably handled the pounding of the season, and I think probably given his time out, he's probably as productive as Hope. He just had a lot of time, out. But he's a big time football player.
Have you watched them on defense?
Yes, they're a 3-4 package, but there are a lot of what we call over and under. They'll slide it to the tight end side. They'll slide it to the split inside, and you know, they're trying to keep you from running it. And you know, sometimes when you got a Ryan Perilou, you say, okay, let's just go ahead and let them play that way. Start throwing that thing. It's the only quarterback I ever had. I'd take that approach. But you know, I don't know where we'll end up with that. But they make a strong commitment to the run. They're pretty good stopping the run. You know, Ronnie and the guys are in there looking at it. You know, I think we better be smart enough to not to take what they give us and not try to butt heads with them. But they're 3-4 and they're talented. I don't know that I can bring a name or a characterization to that, Mike, but they're just real sound. They all do their jobs.
How happy are you to be home for your last two games?
Oh,
not having to
man.
go to the road anymore?
Man, you know, we started out this thing by saying we were road warriors, and you know, we played the best running team in the ACC, maybe the country, the best passing team in the ACC, one of the top 5 in the country probably. Then we were on the road a couple more times. We get to come home for a little while and we go again. But I think our personality could be a lot more defined in a home routine. And you know, I expect us to play better than we played all year. I'll be honest with you. I just think these guys got too much pride not to. I mean, there's a chemistry on this team that can turn against itself, but that's usually great teams are. I mean, there was a loss of composure on the sideline. That's on the good side. You know, they were getting after each other. Didn't get out of control, but maybe loss of composure isn't the right word. But
For the atmosphere.
I like this football team. I mean, you know, I challenged them to be ready to play and go out there and take it to them. And I mean, I have not ever asked this team for something they hadn't done. Now, did they do everything every time? No, they're not perfect. But I mean, I said, just make sure we're ready to play. We go there and it's 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. I don't know what the heck else you could hardly ask for. And oh, by the way, don't make the score 70-0. You know, throw that in there. It don't happen very often. So I'm not upset with them. I'm concerned that some of the issues that are in that, if they don't need to show up in this football game. And we need to show our fans how happy we are being here, playing here. And I hope our fans will be excited about seeing, you know, I don't vote. I guess you'd call this politicking, and it might not have a place, but I think we got the best offensive and defensive player in this league. And if they get votes, it won't be my vote. But this is the best offensive and defensive player who's been in this program since I've been in this program. And I don't know what it takes to play linebacker in the NFL, but this boy's good now. He's real good.
He's a good one to take if he wants to play.
You know, he's carried 230 before. And, you know, I don't know.
If Cornell doesn't get back, Kedgenal Harris has talked about the job he thought he did.
You know, Kidgey is a freshman. He was brought in here with a job, and we're starting to run our program in the right way, where you see the slot, you bring him in, and he wasn't supposed to be ready and to do anything besides play behind Cleasy, but it was probably time to see whether he could pass the litmus test, and he got hit, and he was carrying something around a lot of the game, and he's you know, he's just a solid. You know, his dad played in the SEC. You know, he's a great student. He's smiling. You know, you wonder if he's really, when it comes down to it, if all that goodness about him, he's going to be really tough enough to stand in there. But he was. Now, he was all about it. He didn't flinch. He was happy. And I think Kedgey's got a big future here.
Of course, Alexandria's had 5 straight double-digit